And this is something, you know, we worked on very quick prototypes to get a sense of different ways of different types of movement. You know, we did it early in the project because we didn't want to be designing screens and then having to re-engineer stuff. So it was, you know, it was quick, iterative work. But what it did give us was very quickly a kind of sense of another aspect to the brand identity which hadn't been tackled before. So we've ended up with ways of presenting content, ways of integrating advertising, and we have that joined up in a sense of movement. So I'm gonna do something now which is always a bit nerve-wracking in any presentation. I'm gonna try and go live to the internet. I'll just reload the site. I think this is, you know, how things load, how things move, how things behave. These are all kind of characteristics that we've had to face up to. So I'll jump into the same article. So you can see here, while that article is loading, we've served an interstitial ad, which, you know, from a user's point of view, it's a very attractive-looking ad, and it's on the way from A to B. So you know you're still going to the thing you clicked on. You can see we've added a little bit of movement within this kind of 3D space, just to indicate to the user that these are live elements that you want to play with. So if we bring one of those to the foreground, we can then begin to move through those in a very simple way, and we can enlarge those and get into that great detail, which, you know, of a photo shoot like this would be a shame to keep it any smaller on a website. You know, we can bring up that information. We've had to tackle kind of, you know, basic things like how do we put image credits on the site? You know, at all times trying to do stuff which is more discreet, more subtle, but at the same time, you know, it's effective. And just simple controls that are, you know, ever present. You know, a lot of this stuff, you know, we build it, we test it, we learn. So, you know, it's you try to make something as perfect as can be, but there's a sense and a spirit about this which, you know, if I go into collectibles, you can begin to see what I mean by, you know, movement. And I think one of the things that kind of resonated throughout this project with me was how do we gauge what we're doing? How do we know if it's right for how to spend it? And frankly, you know, it was about being there, working with the team that closely, and getting a sense of what how to spend is about. And, you know, you never get an exact dictionary definition, but throughout the process, we kept saying to each other, is that how to spend it? Does that make sense for how to spend it? Does that look like how to spend it? Does that feel like how to spend it? And I think if you do that with your brand, if you keep analyzing and asking those questions, but try and keep pushing your expectations, then hopefully you get to a new place. That's me. So.
Thank you very much.